Hello, today we're going to talk about the blood supply and the nerve supply of the gastrointestinal tract. And we are going to start with the nerve supply. So we find that as food enters the mouth, it is detected by receptors that send impulse along the sensory neuron of the cranial nerves. The intrinsic innervation of the alimentary canal is provided by the enteric nervous system, which runs from the esophagus to the anus. And we also find that these enteric neurons are grouped into two plexus. We have the plexus of Auerbach. We have the Auerbach plexus. We also have the plexus of Meissner. So let's start with the Auerbach plexus, and we find that in the Auerbach plexus, it's also known as the enteric plexus, and it's found in the layers of the alimentary canal and is responsible for the motility of the food, especially with the rhythm that forces the contraction of the muscularis. This is the muscle layer of the alimentary canal. And we also have the plexus of Meissner, also known as the submucosal plexus, and lies in the submucosal layer of the and is responsible for regulating digestive secretions and reacting to the presence of food. So we also find that apart from having the intrinsic innervation, we also have the extrinsic innervation, and the extrinsic innervation of the alimentary canal is provided by the autonomic nervous system, which includes the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. So the sympathetic division, also known as the fight or flight, is responsible for it restricts the enteric neuron, thereby decreasing the GI secretion. So during the sympathetic activation, we find that the activities taking place there was minimal activity taking place within the GI tract, and when the parasympathetic is activated, that's the rest and digest. Just from the name rest and digest, it tells us that it increases the GI secretion and motility by stimulating neuron system of the GI tract. So let's talk briefly about the blood supply of the GIT. And we find that the blood vessels serving the digestive system have two functions. One is to transport carbohydrates and protein absorbed by the mucosal cells after food is digested. Then also lipids are absorbed, but they're absorbed via the lymphatic system through they're absorbed through the lacteals. And we also find that another function of this blood supply of the GIT is that it supplies the organ of the alimentary canal with the nutrients and oxygen needed to drive their cellular process. And we find that the anterior part of the alimentary canal, that's the frontal part of the alimentary canal, are supplied with blood by arteries branching from the aortic arc and the thoracic aorta. And we also find that the celiac trunk supplies the liver, stomach, and the duodenum, whereas the superior and inferior mesenteric arteries supply both the blood remaining the small and the large intestine. So we find that the small and the large intestine, they get their blood supply from the mesenteric arteries. Then if we come to the anterior parts of the alimentary canal, they get the blood from the thoracic and aortic, from the aortic arc and the thoracic aorta. So the veins that collect nutrients-rich blood from the small intestine empty into the hepatic portal vein. This venous network takes the blood into the liver, whereas the nutrients are either processed or stored for later use. So that's all I have for today's presentation. If you found it to be helpful, make sure you don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's meet in my next video.